Secret and MNM, it might be worth quite a lot in this best of 3 series. You do want to make sure that you find yourselves in a good position with the best of 5 still ahead.
Yeah, definitely. If you already tire yourself out that much by playing an entirely long or very long best of 3 with overtime on all maps, it'll be a difficult situation when you're going up into that grand final. The first ban here will be for Team Secret. They banned the Thatcher, a ban that we saw them do yesterday quite a few times as well. It's a standard ban, nothing too surprising, but MNM sure knows what they're after, and they've already selected their first attack and ban, and that will be Lion.
Okay, I mean, we did see some quick pace coming in yesterday, and I mentioned it before as well. MNM's weakness seemed to have been some of the rushes Vitality has put them up with, and the Lion, of course, is definitely one of those operators that he shouts rush more than any other operator, I dare to argue. So, yeah, removing that might actually stop Secret from going in that quick in some of these occasions. Whereas the Wamai, of course, is also going to be playing into potential grenade play. We've seen it yesterday as well. 3 sets of grenades being brought. There's not much a single Jaeger can do against that. But the Wamai, of course, with those extra discs, is always a pain to deal with in that case.
Yeah, and you have those pivotal points like a pixel part around the piano of the top floor defense where you need those Wamai discs to hold onto a point like that for longer. So only having to rely on the Jaeger for that one, especially if you're playing against a lineup that does tend to bring a lot of those grenades, that'll be definitely interesting. We'll see 3 sets of grenades already in the hands of MNM if they don't tend to pick or switch any of the operators. An interesting thing as well, they bring out the IQ, usually a good counter to a a Valkyrie or any kind of Echo or utility coming out from defenders like that, but there isn't really anything that'll be worth scanning. Maybe some few jammers, but that's it really.
I mean, they did struggle a little bit yesterday with, for example, the Valkyrie picks from the side of Vitality, and probably they went over those VODs and they realized that, ooh, we've been spotted here quite often. We are lucky to have been gotten away with it that many times as we did. So maybe it's just a a precaution here, just in case Secret decides to run the Valkyrie as well. As they have seen, it was quite effective. Just the gunfights weren't being won by the side of Vitality, just to make sure that they have something ready for it. Either way, we are headed towards a middle floor site first, but that often does come in tandem with a top floor hold, and you're seeing it right here as well. Not because of the mirror, because it's banned, but more so because of the pixel shield that is being defended by an ADS as well. Often the piano is a direct entry towards that side, as you are allowed to challenge the trains with it. And of course the engine room as well. So MNM will want to take some control off that, whereas they are now trying to put pressure from many different sides, from the east windows, but also some of them going up towards that roof, just to assure themselves they are in the best possible opportunity to strike.
This is also a really good way of using that IQ gadget scanner, because you can see defenders that are sitting on their phones just checking out these default cameras where these attackers might be coming from. So if you have the information of where someone might be lurking or where someone might be hiding, sitting on their cameras, that could be very costly information for the players of MNM. A lot of information already being scanned and utility being scanned as well. And players now have get it on that top floor. They're looking to gain control over the top floor, but this is where the IQ scanner might come into the play, because there is a person of Secret defending into the little shop cabinet, and they're on their phones looking at default cameras.
Yeah, sure, Kendrew is rotating out, however, jumping right underneath this skylight. It's a very tough angle actually to challenge. You need to get a grenade in if you want to make sure that you're taking out the player here, as there is no way to just hop up like that without any other supports. And as MNM right now is starting to drop the top red hatch, it's not necessarily that they're trying to challenge any of these players on the top floor. They're more so getting themselves in a position where they can challenge the first floor. Tyron, of course, near Kojak, able to move up on the brown stairs, and the player that could be swinging in from either the heaven or, of course, the engine room hallway as well, as they have taken control around here. Kendrew is in a very key and pivotal position.
I think it's interesting how MNM has presence on all 3 floors. They have to make sure that no one's going to be flanking them. There's quite some C4 play on the side of Secret. If you look at Kafe, look at Kendrew's already used his C4, so to say. But there's some vertical potential for the players of Secret. Well, there isn't a lot that you can breach from underneath, but still a point like Piano, or Train Museum, is a part where you can get C4 from underneath. Kendrew now being eliminated. That's the first kill on the side of MNM. That is that C4 that was already used. So blasting position that they now got rid of, but Uses already finds a kill onto Keenan. Suddenly leaves 3 players on the side of Secret.
I was going to say there's still a player up on that top floor, but it got taken out quickly. Here's a missed shot from the player right next to the cabinet. Slebin now taking that position on that top floor. They thought they might have cleared him, but Slebin slots himself into that position, but he's the last man standing now as the rest of his team has fallen. In the meantime, he instantly gets swapped on as well, and a final kill does come in on the side of MNM after a flawless round, I believe it was. What a way to start it off here on Kafe, and really tells Secret that they're here to go to those grand finals in, well, a quick fashion. They're not trying to wait around.
No, definitely. They're here to show that they do want that spot in the grand final and that they're here to take it as quickly as possible. A flawless round is possibly the best way you can start your first attack in half. And well, we did see MNM being quite strong on the attack in half of Kafe. We did see that yesterday, so it'll be essential for Secret to win at least a few rounds. Otherwise, they are going to struggle on that attack in half later on too. However, they feel like Fireplace and Mining was something that they will now try because that library site wasn't really working for them, so go for the same site, but switch it up. I would like to see some upstairs presence from them, as it was kind of easy for MNM to gain control over top red.
It was there, just top red was not really being challenged. They were more so in the balconies to stop any pushes from the pillars on the first floor to come through. However, as soon as they went for the swings, they instantly got swapped upon and flicked upon and taken their lives away from them. So MNM, even though they decided to not completely clear out that top floor, they knew that they had to at least commit one person to continue watching that balcony, just to make sure that they wouldn't be getting any issues from it, and successfully did so as well, picking up 2 of those kills. Secret just lost that first round, we said it. They're swapping it up just a little bit here. Moving one of those bomb chassis from the reading room to the engine room, hoping that that one will be a bit more successful. Now, as a result, there needs to be a little bit more presence in the piano from the defenders, because as you can see, the verticality is going to be absolutely crucial here going into the mining, but also even into the engine room just slightly, and hatch as well, a very important entry point.
Yeah, and say a vertical pressure from MNM, but there's vertical pressure from Secret coming out for sure too, because there's 2 C4 players on the side of Secret, so even if they gain that top 4 control, they might be able to do something from underneath. Kendra is just passively waiting next to that cocktail window, waiting for any of the players to start rebelling. I doubt he'd go for a jump out, but he is holding that window with the shotgun in case anyone comes rebelling by, but well, the players of MNM are very much aware of this and decide to rappel up towards the top or towards the roof in any other way. Well, like we said, there were C4s and Neo did stick to that IQ, and this time the players of Secret did bring out the Valkyrie, so I reckon these Valkyrie cameras should be spotted out quite quickly. Yeah,
and as well as any potential pre-placed C4s could be spotted out quite early on, and Solotov here takes the lead, is the spearhead of the attack for MNM. He will be entering the piano room very soon. Just waiting to see if there's any more utility to be taken out here. Drones are being used to find out whether or not it will be safe, and instead we'll be heading right through the middle of the bar as the spots are coming out right now, and he hopes to pick some off on a rotation, but he is a little bit too late. The player is already on top of the planks here, but what they do not know is that there's still one dug in deep in the corner here. Slebin right next to the hatch gets spotted out and is forced to draw.
Yeah, exactly, and this time we do see MNM taking full control of that top floor, whereas last round they only took control over red, and well, they're struggling just a little bit with it because it's already taken them 2 minutes, and especially if Kendrick gets that opening kill onto Solotov. Finka now off the board, no more adrenaline surges for the players of MNM. Now they seem to get a little bit of a halt in their top floor control. Uses, however, taking that vertical lines of sight into his favor, getting great passing utility underneath. Well, there is still a C4 in the hands of Kendra, and Comfy's already used this one, but that didn't seem to do any damage to the players of MNM.
Very heavy hold here towards the white stairs and the dining room, which means that mining is quite open here for the side of MNM. They just need to realize that, however, before they start pushing in. Tyrant is near the reading room, might get himself caught off by Keenan, but Keenan, oh, he seems to be aware of someone actually coming there and will pick up the kill as well. A 5-on-3, currently make that a 2, as it's only up to Nello now. Gets the very first kill, swaps to the second, but he's not able to land that shot, as Kendrick was a little bit quicker here with the SMG-11, able to land it and land around here for the side of Team Secret.
And where it was MNM last round to get that first entry kill, it was this time Secret that got the first little advantage in the round. They killed the player on Finka, and that was a very important one because that kind of stalled them in taking that top 4 control. You didn't see them struggle with it, where it took them a lot of time to gain that top 4 control. They couldn't seem to spot out the players, as you mentioned. Someone was still hiding all the way in Cocktail. Well, they got spotted, but that player was already long gone after, so not knowing exactly where these defenders are and not having that full-on top 4 control was definitely something that held MNM back in doing a successful push. This means, however, that Secret did win that second floor defense, and they'll now go for the third floor. They'll go for Bar and Cocktail Lounge.
And the 2 occasions where the first gunfights did come through, I think Solis on the white stairs, and afterwards, of course, the reading room as well. There was no information on the player being there, which resulted in a bit of a slower response time. Because suddenly you get surprised there is a player in that corner, and he will be taking you out in that case. It's not really helping MNM's cause, of course, if you're losing 2 players like that. So they need to be a little bit more careful with the drones. Use them later on and make sure that they take the ground early if they had the opportunity to, or at least respond instantly to potential friendly droning going on as well. Because when they do have the information, they seem to win the gunfights. But as soon as they are being surprised by one of these players that suddenly pops up, it is going Secret's way, because that is how they are quite strong. If they do manage to find a way around the structure of MNM, and that is what landed them those 2 kills and eventually the round as well. We're headed back towards the top 4, however, and finally we're going to be seeing it, you can actually say, because we have been on that first floor 2 times in a row now. Or second floor, we have to say, if we're following the game standards. And the top floor was quite key in a lot of these positions. Oh, that's unfortunate. They're throwing the camera up. Oh.
Oh, all right. Well, I guess
Maybe trying to go for a bit of a bait.
I think that's what they're trying to do. Well, they know the cameras are on there, but also kind of waiting for that player to jump out with the information that they have, and this is kind of that information denying coming out from MNM. They will need to make sure they know where all these defenders are. Window being open close to where Tyrant was rappelling, giving him an indication that someone is aware of his positioning and that he needs to be careful for a potential run out. Keenan, however, all the way in the bottom floor has that punch where he can open up an entire barricade with just a singular punch, and he could potentially go for a run out, causing great havoc if any of the MNM players are just rappelling here. That seems to be happening. Goes for the run out, and he gets that kill onto Tyrant. That is huge, because you said they really missed that droning last round. Well, they now took out the Yana, and Yana has a great gadget for utility gathering.
Yeah, for sure, indeed. And it was the last bullet as well of that Roni that came through in the end there. Solotov now gets taken out by Slabin as well, who wanted to go for yet another jump out there, but he's being neutralized. Camera was still up, however, and as Kendra now falls as well, it's an effective 3-on-3 situation actually taking place partially on the site. Now, Slabin still outside, still down. There's 2 players right around that wide staircase. Yuzu's in a position where he has the luxury to choose now where he wants to go. And as Slabin is still in that injured state, they're wondering whether or not they should go for an actual confirmation at that point. But I guess they'll just leave him be there. It's just a bunch of wasted time in that case. And as Yuzus is coming around the corner, he's about to be trying to find Keenan.
Yeah, and as Sylvan's in this injured state, he can't access cameras either. And if he is in that state where he's finished, he can exit the cameras or spectate teammates and everything. Neo does go for that finish, however. Users decides to pull out a nade to toss it towards the white stairs. Keenan will be into that red indicator, but takes a lot of damage to the nade. However, he does escape. Well, players of Secret now aware of someone coming up those white stairs. Users has to be very careful of multiple angles where he can get peeked from. It's Confident to pick up 1 kill onto Nello, and Keenan one onto Users, leaving Neo in a 1v3 situation, and has little to no information and also little to no time.
Gives away his position, however, as he fires a couple of bullets at the 5.52 and finds a serial laser gate now. He probably will have to tank if he wants to have an opportunity of winning the round, and does so exactly as well. 15 seconds, no opportunity to plant. Needs to go for these kills here, but with 11 seconds left on the clock, it's not much time for him to try and find these angles one by one. And as we keep taking down, he gets the very first. Swings around the corner with a pistol here, but instantly gets taken out. Keenan waiting for him with a P10 Roni. Not going to be able to be taken out here by the last member of MNM, and that is Secret now. 2 rounds against the only one of MNM. After, again, some good aggression, the jump outs really helping here, taking out 2 of those players.
Yeah, and this is the first time so far in this game that Secrets find themselves in the lead. It was MNM winning out that first round. It got even split then, and now Secret has a 1-round advantage. But that does mean that after they've won 2 rounds, they now need to go to a 3rd bomb site that they have not won yet. They choose to go back to Reading Room and Fireplace, and as you mentioned, that was a round that completely didn't go in their way. There was no presence on the red stairs whatsoever. There was no one really holding them back from just taking that control over red stairs as well as the brown stairs. They lost 2 early gunfights there on. They have more information this time, it seems, because once again they bring out that echo. They have information of where these players might be, but I do like to see that consistent pick of the IQ on the side of MNM, because they really get a lot of information with it. Well, last time they saw a lot of Valkyrie chems and got rid of a lot of Valkyrie chems, and this time Secret chooses to no longer bring that Valkyrie.
Still, of course, some damage that was being done. Bringing the IQ again, actually running the 5.52 if I'm correct, instead of the G8, which to many is still a very great gun. It's of course personal preference in the end there.
The G8?
Yeah, G8.
Yes, G8, very fun gun.
Very fun gun. But I think that indeed the 5.52 is being used here by Neo. So not using the LMG, instead going for the smaller magazine of the 5.52. As we're headed into round number 4, MNM is willing to pick up yet another round again. It's about time, they're going to be thinking here, after they have won the first, but nothing afterwards. Team Secret, of course, finding themselves in a good position. This is what they want to do. I wonder if Neo's like, is this a pulse or is this a yokai? Because he didn't get the little spot on the right top of his screen, so just know something is walking around there that is electrifying. It's of course the yokai, because there is no pulse. You never know with the 6-bit.
Yeah, but it was a really close one to the floor, so either the pulse is snacking around, or it is indeed a yokai Kimura. I do think they're aware of that, but there is a position right here in the VIP launch that one of the players off Secret is holding on to, and Neo seems to want to challenge that player around the VIP launch, but also being assisted by Packball now. He's going to take a look around those white stairs, and Neo does seem to retreat from that engagement that he wanted to engage with earlier on, and I think it was the Goyo downstairs in that VIP lounge, and that is Comfy with the C4, who could potentially do some damage from underneath later on. But players of MNM are now aware of this, but that also means that there might be less players of Secret onto the site.
Tight angle there from Slabin, and a flashbang being eaten by an ADS, giving him the call that he needs to fall back. And what I like about the setup here is there's a shield and pixel, but there's also a shield right next in the small bathroom area, which allows them to still play a similar kind of angle if they lose the one on Pixel. And Users now knows this. One shield did get taken out. He knows there's a second, but he doesn't know if someone is right behind it. So a drone needs to come in, and that's a beautiful C4, but unfortunately will not be able to hit anybody. The second grenade will be used to get rid of that shield, even though no one is actually playing right behind it.
No, indeed. And Users now looking to challenge the top white stairs. There are still 2 defenders off Secret on that very top floor. Neo is now swinging around on the cocktail windows, doing just a little bit more damage to Slabin, but he's already retreated. Tyron though with the kill onto Comfy with a nade, and Users picks up one onto Keenan. There's only 3 players left on the side of Secret, but look at the HP on the side of Users. He is so low on HP, so a singular bullet would be enough to end him there. And see one of the players off Secret now positioning himself in a very secret or scary position around that 90 hallway. Now MNM is able to get that top floor control and make those vertical lines aside, but time is limited as there's only 25 seconds left to play with.
25 seconds indeed, and just a singular pellet from the shotgun of Packball would be able to finish Users, but the man advantage is still there, and Users will be putting up some pressure onto that top floor. A mute jammer there will be stopping the Excaras, but as Tyron is running in, it's going to be the first kill that goes MNM's way. Packball will then be taken out as well as Nello runs deep and goes to the plans. A yokai is all that they have left to try and hope and win the round, but the second one is not on the right position. They need to drive it in time. Is it going to be in time? That's going to be the quick question. No, it will be taken out. Kendrew hiding all the way in the basement now needs to go back up. It's a 1-on-4 clutch situation. 7 seconds are necessary for him to try and stop that defuse from happening. His position given away by a drone that was active at the time he shot it, and as he takes this top floor control, he reckons it's the best way for him to potentially pick up a kill or 2. The first one he goes for, but misses the opportunity. It's Tyrant to close it off with a clean headshot there, and even though they got quite close with those yokais, unfortunately not enough time left to get the second one in position and stop the plant from happening.
Yeah, those final few seconds in that round being a real nail-biter for that Echo player there. It was almost really close to being able to stop the plant from being done twice. The good thing for the side of MNM, though, is that they had quite a few players alive still, and there was only one player on the side of Secret, so the only thing they had to be looking out for was those Yokoi drones driving around on the floor, and they managed to do so, and the plan was successful out of the hands of Nello, and another round for MNM on the board. We're now back to an even score, but that round was kind of convincing. However, before that, I do reckon that a few players of MNM are struggling to connect towards this game so far. Solotov being the entry kill twice already, not managed to find a kill yet for himself, and while Users got 3 kills in the first round, he's now got 2, and that seems to be a winning factor for MNM. If Users gets a few kills, they might as well end up winning that round.
Yeah, for sure. Users is one of those big fragging factors, and if he's allowed to just enter the side, and same goes for Nello actually, as soon as he was able to just rush through the reading and pick up a kill or two and get down with that diffuser, suddenly everything is starting to go their way more and more so, and that is sort of a win condition here for the side of MNM. You need to get these frags, you need to get these kills, and as soon as Users is starting to frag out like that, where he feels confident enough to just get into that site and start working around these angles and corners, that is when MNM is really starting to shine here, because everything afterwards, as soon as he jumps in, everything afterwards just works so perfectly.
And we now see a downstairs defense. First time we're seeing that downstairs defense so far in this game. It was Secret that did a almost successful rotation, but then managed to lose the reading side once again. They could, however, go back to bar, but towards mining, but they're deciding not to do that. They want to defend that bottom floor, and players of MNM have already gathered outside bakery and outside the winning window. And looking to take this quite horizontally. I have not seen any of the MNM players rappel up towards that top floor. It is Solotov, however, to at least get a little bit off control there. They might even need it, but look at the side of Secret. There's no heartbeat denial, so that should mean that Nello is able to get these walls open quite quickly.
Or not.
Oh, nope.
There's still an MP5 SD on the side of Kendra that will be taking him out. Something they need to worry about here. So another set of Excars will surely be used at some point. However, potentially followed up with a flashbang and a jump in here from the player to stop any of these potential players from going aggressive and taking out these Excaros. Long being used here by Solotov. A grenade will be following up as well. So if the player steps out at the wrong timing here, it's the kill onto Sleben as he wanted to go a little bit more aggressive right behind the cupcake bar. It's the opening, it's the entry, and MNM will be more than happy to take it.
Yeah, definitely. The first kill for Solotov in this game, but a very important one as they do take out that player in Bakery, allowing them to gain that control over the Bakery site. There are some red pings and yellow pings coming out, however, on potential positions of the defenders. And there is still that rotate hole where Keenan's really close to. They have to be careful that he's not going for a swing. Gets spotted out in his position, but takes out the drone as well. And also Comfy still being hidden in Kochak could be a very unfortunate factor for MNM. If they don't spot him out, if they don't get his information right there, then that might be crucial for this round. But look at that, 1 minute left. There's only 3 more drones on the side of MNM, so getting that information would be a quite difficult part.
Yeah, for sure. Keenan takes out the very first drone. However, just looking quickly at it, 2 left that they have in the field right now. And as Keenan is going for some quick peeks here, the grenade is falling just short. Hoping to find some of these kills. He goes more aggressive. A second grenade was good perfectly, but he just moved out of position. Trying to play around the Excaros now. He's going to be able to pick up the very first kill before he gets traded out by Solotov. Needs to go more aggressive, however, but a small entry is here as the Kochak player gets taken out as well. Now the opportunity for a plant starts to arise. Nello creeps into the side as he picks up a kill onto Kendry as well. Leaving it only up to Packbull now, taking a lot of damage and will be taken out before the diffuser even hits the ground. It will be MNM that surely, after those 2 rounds that were won by Secret, is starting to salvage the round and making sure that they are putting themselves in a good position for half 2.
I would say this was a very well executed attack from MNM. They really took those trades that were costly and that really helped them towards winning that round. I mean, you have the opening frag on the player behind the Bakery, and that really helps you to gain that control there and just putting a lot of pressure on the Melusi, who was trying to swing those holes back towards the Bakery to stop him from gaining a little bit of more control. Well, they almost weren't able to because, well, that Melusi player was able to get 1 kill but was traded out immediately. You gain a lot of control with that. Plan came in, and well, as a smoke in a 1v4 or 1v3, there isn't too much you can do in that situation.
All you can hope for is that the timer's running low and you get the smoke canister at the right place to stop the diffuser from really going down in that matter, but not the case, of course. And now MNM have retaken the lead after they shortly lost it in round number 3. MNM looking to close us with a 2-4 would be a very good half for them as they're on the attack here and give them quite some good perspective for when they go to the defense here on map 1. We said it before, this one is more of a coin flip. Who will take it is going to be the big question, because map 2 we think is favored for MNM.
And the best thing that Secret could get out of this is a 3-3 split, and I'll be very honest with you, I don't think that is a very good situation to start at their attack at half either, seeing as how good MNM was on this map yesterday in their game. Well, you see once more Valkyrie being brought out and all these cameras being tossed out, but the consistent IQ pick on the side of MNM will definitely help them to stop the players from getting a lot of information on their positions. Very concerning thing though for MNM is that it took them really long to spot out that Maestro in Kochek, and they fall for these kind of things once more. Again, it could be the players' secret. We know, for example, Kendra likes to just lurk around in positions off the site and just wait for people to come by, and allow the players' secret to do so, that could be very detrimental for their last attacking round.
It definitely could, and it's something we like, or we do often see on the side of Secret as well. When they do play an Echo, he's often very far away, removed from the site to make sure that the yokai drones are going to be that winning condition. We saw that go wrong earlier, and as the first grenade is coming in, Sleben's position is being spotted out. You cannot guarantee that the second one is not going to be sailing in very soon. It's actually jump out of Keenan that gets caught off. Beautiful knowledge there from Tyrant. Went off the actual angle to challenge Sleben, instantly picked him up. A second grenade, however, eaten by the ADS, and Sleben still getting downed, however, as Tyrant is low on HP. Packbull finds a response. It's going to be an effective 3-on-4 situation for now.
They do have that Fink on the hands of Solotov that could give some HP back to Tyrant. There's still 2 more Finkaboos, so if Tyrant tries to stay along for as long as possible, or stay alive for as long as possible, he could get a lot of that HP back. It's however Sleben to fall as well, indeed, like you mentioned, and I think Kina went for a little bit too aggressive of a run out. Kendra now finds the kill on the Solotov, so no more HP being brought back to Tyrant, as he'll have to finish this round on significantly lower HP. There's 1 minute and a half still left on the board for the players of MNM to get that control, but they've all find themselves on top of that red hatch with no real map control in their hands whatsoever. Yeah,
they were droning out that top floor, right? They wanted to go for the hutch drop there, but they weren't quite aware of the fact that Kendra is playing out there to at least take care of one of those yokai drones. And now the red stairs control is being taken here by the side of MNM. They need to, of course, go towards that top floor site, and as they are very aware of the fact that cameras and yokai drones can still be hidden in every single corner of the map right here, Comfy is still looking out on 2 of those cameras, knowing exactly what will be clear and not, which of course focuses these guns of secrets that are left to this final destination on the side of MNM, who are trying to take control of the site and potentially go for a plant again. The Excaliburs are used to get rid of the Surya Laser Gate. Nello using these flashbangs as well to gain some momentum and hoping to go for a plant, but it's Packbull that's able to look right between the bar there as he's opened it up before, able to get a second kill as well, potentially. No, loses his life, and Neo digs in right deep in the corner. 16 seconds, the cover will be there. Is there anything left? No, because Packbull died. There is no yokais that can be used in 45 seconds, and a 1v2 post plant are on the board right here. Neo with a great double kill is going to be able to secure the round from MNM. He was all alone, picks up 1 and finds the second in the corner, and the rotate here in the freezer. And as a result, MNM, they lock it off with a 2-4 in the first half, and now go with it to the defense themselves.
And that was a huge round for MNM, because it wasn't really looking too good. They had no entry into the site whatsoever. Both their Nate players got taken out quite early, so they couldn't really do a lot of damage from a longer range. And when that Echo had the control over the cocktail and had that longer angle onto the bar entry, I thought that was going to be the final straw that was needed here to pull that round towards the side of Secret, but unfortunately the Packbull got traded out quite quickly after, and the plan was successful. Really good cover coming out, and this is once again where those trades are coming in. I mean, you do see the Ana player holding a longer line of sight, getting taken out, but the refrag is there immediately. That puts you in a 1v1 situation instead of a 1v2 situation. And that was huge for the players of MNM. A solid attack in half, I would say, for them. They're looking to close this map out as quickly as possible as they now head towards their defensive half.
Yeah, and key as well, of course, that time was being wasted while the plant went down. That's eventually the goal. You're there for cover, but you're also there to waste time. They need to challenge you first before they can put their attention and their guns towards the planter, which in this case was Neo, after Nello was taken out by Packbull due to that very slight angle made through the bars. Successfully done so. Neo enabled to go for a 1v2 clutch there with the planter down, of course, on the ground. The diffuser, that is. And successfully won as well. Now Secret onto the attack, and it will be MNM playing on that defense. What will the big difference be? We do see the Valkyrie coming out, but no IQ on the side of Team Secret, which is going to be that big change. Artie's camera is going to be used in a way where they find a lot of the information, where they find a lot of the angles as a result of it. Surely Secret is going to be either, well, introducing a Valkyrie ban in map 2 or bringing the IQ themselves, like MNM has done almost every single round. If not every single round, I think it was every single round.
I think it was a consistent IQ pick, and it definitely helped them to get that information and to get rid of the utility. And that was something that we did see Secret struggle with yesterday, getting rid of utility and making sure they gain a lot of ground. The thing they were probably the strongest with yesterday was winning their gunfights. But if you look at the statistics of the players so far, I'm not too sure if everyone is already winning their gunfights. So they're now in a very scary position, is rappelling onto the windows, the western side of this building, but needs to be very careful of a run out coming from any of the MNM players. We know they're not scared to do that. We know they might put in this aggression that is needed to get a run out kill like that, but they've already taken control of the shield around Pixel, and I think that's an air jab towards that Pixel door as well. So any of the players of MNM that likes to retake control over Piano will be falling back on their bombs.
Extra difficult to take out now as well, as there is, first of all, no impacts left, but also no nitro that you can just toss through, considering there is that serial laser gate that will also catch off your friendly projectiles if you're not close enough. So they really need to think about it there if they want to take that control. Nello hiding, however, in the Trend Museum in a key position, as it looks like they might be entering here, and indeed find the Gemini replicator, but knows that players will be close as a result. Finds and digs himself into a different angle as Gumpy is taking a gunfight elsewhere. He's entering the site right now. It's Keenan the first to drop. A trade comes through, but Nello, with an unlucky timing to go for the reload, gets picked up by Packbull. It's Secret that has a small advantage now, but this Tyrant is snuggling around the corner right here, is hoping to pick up a kill, is very careful about potential air jabs or drones potentially being hidden in these corners.
I do like how he's very much on the lookout for those and very careful when he tries to go for a flank. Is successful in that matter if he gets the kill onto Gomfy. Tyrant still looking to get another one as there's a player really close to that reading door, already in towards the side, and that would be one of the default plan positions. But Tyrant's looking to contest a very long angle as Uses takes a lot of damage on the top floor as well. Meanwhile, Packbull's trying to go for the plant, and Uses does a lot of damage onto a player, but Kendra still gets that pick onto Neo. Uses one onto Slab, and it's a 2v2 situation, but the plant is down. The players of MNM need to aggress on towards the side to get rid of those players and start that counter defuse, but Uses is on really low HP.
Yeah, finds a player here, however, instead he gets picked up, so the verticality not really working out. He wanted to go quite passive around the corner there, and now Tyrant is in a very unlucky position here. He's going to get his feet spotted out, tries to go for the gunfight instead. Thought he was going to get swung on here, but that will not be the case. Goes more passive, goes on a different kind of angle, wants to challenge the laundry room first, but as he puts his back towards it, it is going to be Kendrew that's out there with the LMG, picking up the very final kill, and that will mean that the first attacking round of Secret will go their way as MNM fails to actually get the defense stuck. Tyrant was in a good position. He picked up the first kill on the flank, but might have been a little bit too slow by rotating back towards the reading room door and truly put up the pressure together with his teammate Neo that was further down the road. And it puts us in a 3-4 now. It is quite a close game at that, but we already expected that. We said that the first map should be the one that is close, and it should be a map that Secret will win, considering their results on Villa yesterday. Of course, the results in the past are no guarantee for the future. However, it didn't quite look good for them in that case.
You've mentioned timing, and I think that could potentially be a key word for MNM's last round. It was timing that also cost that Nello was alive when he found himself into the trains and got that opening pick, but decided to go for a reload on a kind of an icky timing, and they did get traded off right after. And like you said, Tyrant was in a good position to go for a flank, but was a little bit too slow onto that final retake towards the side. That allowed the players as Secret to access the side and actually go for a plant. And this is where you have this beautiful site set up with all the shotgun holes around the reading wall, but after a post-plant situation you're trying to retake the site, those holes be working against you, because those foot holes will work better in the way of an attacker that's holding off potential hallways where the defender might be coming back from. So unfortunate for MNM, but they're still in the lead, so not all has been lost yet. They're still defending. They decide to go for Kitchen, however, as they felt like reading will not be a site that they would like to retry and disrupt.
Windows being opened up here by the side of Secret just to put the pressure down. If you open up these windows, the defenders, they do know they need to be very careful of potentially being peeked by them. And if there is eventually not any pressure coming down. Kendra picks up the first kill. Solotov gets picked up, and with that, the pressure now fully comes down into the VIP area. Red spots are coming in. Tyron knows that he's being challenged as a result of it. And as more drones are coming through, surely a grenade at some point will follow. They want to get rid of that shield, and as there's going to be 3 different angles he will be challenged from. He's just going to get swung by the side of Gomfy, not having any clue that he was already in that far. As there is a Frostman, I believe he got spotted out. He should not be falling by that one, but as the Frost is now taking a position, there's going to be an opportunity, or actually no opportunity to go for the jump in, because you would have to take the gunfight or the Frostman instead.
Yeah, exactly, and this is quite aggressive that we see coming out from MNM. Nello in the middle of Kocak, obviously changing the position right after he got spotted out, but changing it to a more aggressive position even though they have the man disadvantage. Looking at the side of Secret, there's only 4 drones left, however, so spotting out Nello in this crucial position might be a difficult thing for them to do, and luckily, the players of MNM still have those Echo drones to rely on. The further as this round takes, the more potential those Echo drones might have later on, and this is exactly what's happening around the Kocak area, because Gomfy isn't looking to take that gunfight with Nello. He's looking to take it very careful and actually waiting for Nello to go for that initial swing, but neither of the players really seem to want to take that gunfight.
And this is just to waste a lot of time right here. Nello in a key position to do so. Will be challenged from the door. However, grenades are coming in, and he now knows that the pressure could be coming down from the other side as well. Gets off the angle at the very right time as he was being challenged. I believe that was by Gomfy, but he needs to stay alive for as long as he possibly can as an injure goes down on the side of Keenan before Nello gets traded out himself. There's going to be just 45 seconds left on that clock, and Uses takes a small prep window here, gets the first kill as his teammates goes down. It's an effective 3-on-1 situation with Neo just being a living drone at this point. For the side of MNM, a head gets spotted out, however the kill does not land. Knows he's being pressured from the back, but swaps off at the wrong timing. Kendra again with a double kill in the end here to lock it off for the side of Team Secret. And as a result, we now find ourselves in an equal scoreline, a 4-4. And MNM, the lead that they build up is now going to be out. And as a timeout will be called by them as well after losing those 2 rounds in a row. They will have 45 seconds to talk and discuss with their coach to see what they can do to make sure it doesn't happen again.
I'm very curious. Would you think this timeout is a bit too late, or is it at the perfect timing?
Well, right now, nothing is truly lost. There's still 4 rounds to go. What we do often see is that teams wait until the very final round to call a timeout when it's like 6-5 and they're like, we need to make it to overtime. I think this is a better opportunity here because there is no lead, there is no deficit. So there's going to be that opportunity to just talk about it. You've just had 2 rounds where things went wrong. And if you manage to get those 2 rounds to go well the next time you play the sides, you're already on 6. So I think this is a good opportunity to call it out.
Yeah, and usually it's more than just like, oh, how are we going to take this next round? It's also kind of a mental reset or a gathering of the players to talk about whether we're all still facing the same ways and if we're all still in it to win it, so to say. But it's just not just for a 1 round coming after, but for more rounds coming after, because maybe they feel like something is going wrong, and something that could potentially be going wrong on the side of MNM is that they find themselves on the side of an opening death quite a lot as of recently. It's usually Solotov that doesn't really get a footing into the game so far. It's been the opening death quite far, and could that be maybe being a little bit too aggressive? And later on we saw a player in VIP as well just being taken off guard really by a lot of angles that he was contested from, and then we do see Nello going quite aggressive too, but doesn't really win the gunfight there, and those are quite unfortunate factors. But let's hope for the players of MNM that they did find something during that tactical timeout and that they'll now have that mental reset, which will give them the upper hand in the next round.
Of course, the coach and the analysts are all talking together as well. Maybe the analyst has seen something that they could use to stop the approach of Team Secret in these next coming rounds, and the coach will be relaying that information. There's so much that can happen. There's 45 seconds. And it might not sound like a lot of time, but it's often just enough to get a lot of the crucial information across. It's just a part of the sport of some sorts. Trying to get as much information in as clear-cut way towards your team in the little time that you have as a support staff.
Yeah, exactly. And MNM looking to set up a bar defense, and something I do like to see is, however they've lost all of their defensive rounds so far, they do like to switch it up a little bit. That would either mean that they don't feel as comfortable on the other side, or that they should feel comfortable with multiple different sites. For Secret, it'll be pivotal to get a lot of control over that piano area, but I do like the setup that we see coming out around this shop area. There's a castle barricade as well as a Surya gate, which allows the shotgun player to play a little safer around shop, but also to be a little bit more aggressive towards red. However, they've got this entire setup there, but Kendra, on the other hand, is looking to take control over the white stairs quite quickly. It's being drawn in by his teammate, and that's a lot of information quite already, and Solotov would potentially be the first person to stop him from gaining a lot of ground on the map.
He's being watched out. A flank drone is out there, so Solotov would be to move towards the laundry area. He could easily be picked up, but the entry kill goes to Tyron. A big jump out there is going to reward him with a kill, but he needs to be very careful. Kendrew is on the hunt here. He knows that the player will be inside, and as he's swinging around the corner, he makes a small amount of noise here, especially when he starts running away and takes out that default camera. They now know one is on the same floor with them, and as a player is now holding the hatcher close to it as well, then surely, if he makes any noise more inside of the laundry, it will be Tyrant that will be headed that way to potentially take him out. It's Kafe now that loses his life. Solotov picks up that kill. Kendrew should be aware as he uses this adrenaline surge to move through the barbed wire quicker. He needs to make an entry and does so as well. Neo gets taken out, but he loses his life as a result, and Sleben is a little bit too late to drop the hatch as the Surya laser gate was still there. It's Keenan on the top of red, now receiving some smoke canisters to further slow him down. There's 70 seconds left on the clock. It's plenty of time for the two players of Secret to work with. However, MNM have that two-man advantage, and while there is going to be some information on the drones right here, and users unaware that he will be spotted, is going to be fighting a gunfight very soon as Sleben is looking to go for a pre-fire drop here, but he's not going to be able to, well, land it cleanly as he has only about 10 HP left. Keenan and Sleben both together now. Little HP on one whilst the other is full, still afraid of a potential flank to come around the corner, but with 40 seconds left, the rest of MNM is already located on the site.
And Keenan still got 2 nades, so he could potentially do a lot of damage on the longer range with that. There might be some ADS still in play, and Keenan now finds himself on the middle floor, looking to do some damage with some nades from underneath. There are these standard or default positions where you would almost know that a defender might be lurking, and that is around this Maestro bar. Nades being tossed out, but does only a little bit of damage to Solotov to cause him to relocate, though. On the middle of this double doors, the players of Secret now need to rush inside, and that's Sullen being taken out, putting Keenan in a 1v3 situation. He finds Tyron on the top of the white stairs, but it isn't enough. He doesn't win any of those gunfights. It's trying to take out that last Secret player, and another round for MNM, and the timeout seems to be working well for them if they've just won their round after the tactical timeout.
At least they stopped the momentum that Secret was starting to build with the 2 rounds they've won, and now find themselves a singular round away from making it to a map point here in this best of 3. They still have a best of 5 to go if they win the whole thing, so for them it would be better if they close it off as quickly as they possibly could. And the clash getting 6 picked out to a pulse might cause for some change on the side of Secret, or actually to remain the same. They know they have grenades, they know they have those air jabs, and those are all, of course, valuable gadgets to get rid of a clash shield that would be harassing you.
Yeah, and I love how they're bringing out the pulse on the side like this, because you have reading, which is like entirely soft, so you can see 4 people with them underneath, and you have mining, where you only have that little plant spot right next to the clot wall, where a lot of players like to plant. That isn't C4able, obviously, but you can still do some damage with it from underneath. And the fact that they 6-picked it, like you said, should probably mean that the players of Secret first need to find out that MNM did bring that pulse before they get to do anything with it. And we often talk about a winning factor of a round. Yeah. I think getting the opening kill for your team is a very big winning factor. I think for last round, a part to add to that was that they got rid of the singular Heart Breacher in the form of Packpool.
It definitely helps, and I think the statistics are around 70% more chance of winning the round after you get an opening kill that does not instantly get retraded. Now there were 2 actually in that round. They managed to get the very first 2 engagements all singled out. There was no opportunity to trade from the side of Team Secret, whilst that was something that they were set up well for in the first 2 rounds they had on this half. So maybe that is something they will try and go back to now. Upside down repels still on the side of the building, is only there to potentially stop any of the runouts from below. As when you're not on the upside down repel, it is an angle that is a little bit more awkward for you to hit in that case. Comfy decides to head off. It seems like the hatches will be the main entry point here, and drones are going to be coming in to try and figure out how active the upstairs hold will be.
Well, how active the upstairs hold will be, it seems to be quite inactive. There's only 1 player around that bar area, and that seems to be the Aruni. So they will be the first point of contesting once they're trying to gain that control over the top floor. Kendra's already lurking next to the mining window. Not really any valid entry point so far, because there's probably a lot of angles he can get contested from, but he is quite close to the site. However, decides to drop down and is now around the red hallway, lurking around in the basement, trying to find the pools in the side of Nello, which you could potentially stop a C4 with from underneath. He's also around a open hatch and has 2 grenades that he could potentially toss to the side, but on the other side, Packball's just going for a plant, and I don't think the players of MNM are aware of this.
They were definitely aware of it. They managed to take him out, and that means the diffuser is now dropped. Slabin loses his life as well before Keenan finds a re-entry onto that site, and as Kendra now needs to find a way back towards the actual site itself. He's doing so by the red stairs. Another great kill coming down by Keenan, and a triple kill all from the train museum. But as long as that diffuser is down in the current position, all users has to do is make sure that no one will be picking that one up again. Tyrant above on the red stairs as well, in a great position to strike if someone will be to make it in from the side of the red stairs, and it does sound like there is going to be some attention given to it. Grenades are being pushed up, and he picks up the first kill. Takes down Kendra as he picked up the diffuser just a second ago, and uses receiving some small amounts of damage. Is afraid that he's being spotted currently. The diffuser has been recovered, but the site is definitely not clear yet. Users can easily hold the rotation through, and as Tyrant is starting to open up right above it, it's Comfy that wants to dig in deep. They need to go towards the dining area, and that's exactly what they're doing. Try and hope and find a safe angle to go for a plant in. With 19 seconds left on the clock, they know they need to go quickly. It is users that is going to be quite close. Those are players in the hallway here. They're forced off the actual plank right there. C4 will be popped at the moment. He walks on the other side of it, and Comfy loses his life as he's walking right around the corner, unaware of the C4 up until the very last second of it.
And MNM now find themselves on the first time a map point. As we do say, it's a map point, not a match point just yet, because we are playing a best of 3, and they'll need 2 maps to win out this entire series. But a map point is a good starting point to do that first strike towards Secret here, and that last round looked quite solid from MNM. They were really able to take that control, and they stopped the plant coming out from Packball quite quickly, and from there on, like you said, the site was very much unclear for the remaining players of Secret. There was no way they could go back into that plant spot to potentially get another plant down and not be stopped by the MNM players in the process. So that was a really good holding of the site, as well as the other rotate options that were available for the players of Secret. And, well, something I'm a bit concerned about is, well, we did see that with MyBen coming out from MNM. We saw MNM use a ton of grenades and be very effective with grenades on their attacking half. But look at Keenan. He's been keeping his nades in his pocket.
Yeah, sometimes players do keep them in their pocket a little bit longer. I'm not quite sure what the reasoning for it is. Maybe because he was in that horizontal area, of course, carries that L85 along with him. And if he manages to find a gunfight successfully without taking any damage, I mean, why not in that case, right? Not being used vertical, there's no hard corners he had to clear out in that case. So no real need to use those grenades, but of course you could use them earlier on in the round. Just soften up some of those targets for you, make it easier on that long run. And, you know, who knows? Maybe we'll get to see some more grenade usage of him throughout this map, as there could be just potentially 1 round left, but there could also still be 5, or maybe on the upcoming maps.
Windows being prepped downstairs for a potential run out or a potential jump out later on. We did see both players or both teams being quite aggressive with those run outs so far, and also being quite successful with a run out. So I wouldn't be too surprised if any of the MNM players decides to do so. But Comfy is already quite close to the site. He's currently being drawn in by his teammates, and there's a little bit of a tap of damage onto Nello, but obviously not enough to end in there, but that brings him to a little bit of a halt. There's some control over those red stairs, but that is all that Kafe has, and now he needs to make sure that he has this information of where the players of MNM might be before he goes and gains any more of the ground on this map.
It's a great start, of course. However, the big issue here is that they need to take that top floor control to stop any verticality from truly coming into play. Yes, the dining, relatively safe. You could go for a plant there, but the big issue there is that the white stairs are the big entryway in, and those are currently being heavily contested by 2-3 players playing around that area. So even that is not truly an actual option. Even though Packball is opening up a way to go for a plant, they are getting that entrance. The big question is, will it be watched again like last time? Because we saw them go for a quick plant last time around, but then they got punished for it. Then the diffuser got dropped and even more people died as a result of it.
Ooh, an unfortunate thing is Packball takes out the opening kill onto Solotov, who's found himself being the opening death quite a few times, and Packball now sneaking in towards that site. Keenan picks up 1 kill onto Users 2, and Packball is actually able to go for a plant all the way into the corner of the site. A player prone behind the table will hold off great cover, but Nello picks up 2 huge kills, and Neo picks up 1 as well. There's a little bit of an advantage coming back for the players of MNM, but Tyrant's taken out, so we're back to a 2v2 situation. 30 seconds left on the clock for the players of MNM to go for a defuse, but Kendra was not aware of Nello on these white stairs, gets taken out quite easily, so only Slubbin left in the play. He finds himself in a 1v1 situation as he takes out Nello. Neo still needs that time to go for the defuse, and that rotate around the white stairs could be very detrimental here. Goes off the defuse and takes a lot of damage, but not enough to find his death yet. Pulls out the pistol, goes for the swing, but doesn't win the gunfight. It's Slubbin to pick up that kill and to keep themselves from losing their first map.
For a second there, I thought he definitely had it with the pistol when he swung around the corner, but it is Secret that stays in it here. Kendrew, he said he didn't seem to realize someone was on the stairs. Of course, he had still some support on that top floor. Thought it might have been safe as he was still reloading that LMG, but wanted to get into a position so he could challenge the plant instantly in case that would be necessary. And now 5-6. It is the opportunity for Team Secret to bring it to overtime here, but also the last opportunity for MNM, at least in this case, to lock it off in regulation. There is no reducted points if you don't do it in regulation time here. It's considering a best of 3 in an elimination bracket. Just means that you win the map. There is no points. Let's just get that straight. And as we're headed towards that top floor, Team Secret, again, bringing that Finka. The LG has truly been treating Kendrew well. He's not on the Fink anymore. No, he's using the IQ this time around, and it's the G8 that is making its entrance onto the game. But they're bringing out Kendrew on the IQ. At the moment, there is no Valkyrie anymore on the side of MNM.
Yeah, that was a little bit of a bait coming out, I would say, on the side of MNM. They shaded that Valkyrie to only 6-pick it away for another operator, but that does mean that Secret wanted to 6-pick right into the IQ. Doesn't mean there's no more utility left for them to scan, because there's still Evil Eyes, there's still Mute Jammers and all that kind of utility that you can scan being that IQ. And, as we do know, you can scan defenders being on their phones too, and we did see some players of MNM as well as Secret just lurk in corners and sit on your phone trying to get some information off those default cameras. However, we'll be going back to Bar and Cocktail Lounge, and that is the site that MNM defended previously, and a good win factor for them in that previous round is that they got the opening kill onto Packball. That was the singular Heart Preacher, and once again is the singular Heart Preacher. So if they're able to get a kill onto Packball once again, that would mean, for example, that this red wall it's not going to get open, and that would make it a lot difficult for these Secret players.
Some around, no MNM player playing with a C4 underneath these hatches. Is instead going to be a smoke canister popped really early. And I think that's due to the fact that the Yana instantly dropped through the last time around, and Kafe went very quickly through the actual site and putting up some actual pressure. And in this case, it is just going to be one of those smoke canisters. Yes, it hurts you later on in the round, but if it was going to be a push that happened, you would have been able to at least knock down a lot of the HP of the aggressors there. Solotov ready for a jump out here, or run out, rather. It's just waiting for the right moment. There is going to be some repels up there, but they're waiting for the final confirmation. And I think that due to the positioning of that player, he might even be going for the small bakery, as it's a shorter distance he needs to go for.
Yeah, last time we did see Keenan do this too. He ran out of bakery and then swung towards the freezer door and got one of the players off the rappel there. But this time they're rappelling on the other side of the building, and Solotov needs to make sure he doesn't get pressured. Now Yellow Pink's coming out on his position, but it is enough to take him out. Keenan to pick up the opening kill onto Solotov, and that was really good drone usage coming out on the side of Secret. They were aware of Solotov's positioning. They were able to pick up an opening kill there. We saw them struggle before with their drones and their drone usage, but this time it's been working out really well for them.
It's been working out quite well indeed, and managed to, what a beautiful shot from Tyron. We didn't quite see it, but I heard just a singular bullet or two going off, and Slabin loses his life as a result, bringing it back to a 4-4. Now there was still the entry here for the side of Team Secret. They don't have to worry about any potential runouts or roamers coming back towards the side. They know that these last members are all near the actual side, and they can potentially clear them out with grenades as well. All they want to do is get into a deep corner, go for a potential flank, but as the smoke canisters are coming through, there's going to be little space for them to play with, and a potential Surya laser gate they need to waste. But as long as they don't do that, they know as well on the side of MNM that they will be coming through that one singular door and maybe the balcony as well. A lot of pings coming through, but still no waste, and that means Kendra is just going to tank the damage instead and go for a very deep angle here, hoping to hold the rotation or at least put some pressure inside of the freezer as he does successfully picking up the very first kill. Grenades are starting to pop as well, and 3-3 is currently what is facing them with 4 seconds left. 2 members fall. There's not little time left. They need to go for the defuse. Packbill, however, is the last member standing. The time is running out, and they might be zapping him. Yes, indeed, they are with the Evil Eye, and as a result, it will be MNM that wins the very first map, as they didn't quite want to go for it. That's a very interesting camera side there on the end. I haven't seen that one before.
Yeah, it does that sometimes, but well, it is a very interesting way to get the final kill of the game as well, I would say.
Yeah, definitely.
Just being zapped out by a Maestro Evil Eye isn't always the most pleasant way to go down, and it'll sure do something to the mental of those Secret players. They were really close, or I would say it was a good effort or a valiant effort.